Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com. In this video here, I'm going to be going over my charged lodestones drop rates video with this new video here. So the sparks we're going to be farming can be found just north of Sierra Shadowfen in northern Kershore. And the reason I'm making this video, despite already having a video of this location up as well as a written guide, is to talk about the sparks and their pretty much drop rates for charged lodestones. Now, it's not uncommon for me to get a post on one of my aforementioned videos about my drop rates being inaccurate, misleading, or, they need updates or anything like that. People constantly tell me I should go back to these locations, make another video, and pretty much showcase what's changed here, or just try to see if my drop rates are wrong. So, pretty much listening to my viewers, I've gone back to a lot of these locations. I've farmed here for as long as I possibly could, and then decided to make a video to show you that no, my drop rates are not inaccurate. Just sometimes you get unlucky, sometimes I get unlucky, sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes I get lucky. And that's pretty much exactly how things work in Guild Wars 2 and in really any game for that matter, and really almost any walk of life. Before I don't plan to get all philosophical on you here, but sometimes when you walk into those casinos, you don't always win. And I'm sure, if you guys play cards, poker, or something like that, not every night can you get a bunch of good hands. Some nights you just get some really shitty hands, and there's nothing you can do about that. And then other nights, you just keep getting these great hands. And, like straight, flush, 4 of a kind, 3 of a kind. You just keep beating everybody else at the table who doesn't get any good cards and no good hands versus, what you get and what you have been getting. And it works the same way for drop rates in a video game. One night, you might find like 3 or 4 charged lodestones in 2 hours. And then the next night, you might find not a single thing in 2 hours. And if you think about it, that still averages out to be 1 lodestone per hour. If you farm for 2 hours and you don't find anything, and then you farm for 2 hours and you find 2 lodestones per hour in those following hours, you're still averaging 1 lodestone an hour despite, farming the previous 2 hours and not getting a single thing. An average is going to be, taking an item and covering the entire portion of time that you decided to farm here. And I know it sounds so stupid that I'm explaining averages to pretty much a demographic of young adults and adults. But believe it or not, a lot of people completely misunderstand averages. And when it comes to when I say like you'll be making an average of 50 silver an hour from farming at this location, they'll be like, I farmed here for an hour and I only made 45. And then I'll be like, well, how much did you make the next hour? 60. Well, and it's just it's really hard to figure something out. I can't really find a nice way to put it in there, so I'm just going to stop myself there for a lack of better words and say sometimes you just have to explain things that are extremely silly to some people who just might have been inebriated during the time when they originally heard it, or, 3rd grade when they got held back a few times. I'm just kidding. Sorry if you guys don't understand averages, just some things go over some people's head. I mean, I'm not that good at math, so. Anyway, without, trying, with trying to move away from insulting some people, which I do apologize for, I'm trying to do some lighthearted banter. And, like bounce around, pretty much get some laughter from some people and probably, hurt other people's feelings, which, like I said, I do apologize for. So these sparks in this area, what we're going to be farming here for is, drumroll, charged lodestones, duh. And once I said, you're going to be getting about 1 an hour. Now, as you can see, they don't spawn all of the time. Like, I just killed all of them, and now I'm waiting for respawn. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is kill these Risen Pirates that are in the area, Risen Placebringer, and pretty much all of these Risen mobs. Now, the reason I'm going to kill these is to build up my luck, which, as I get each point of luck, it increases my magic find by, I think it's 0.5%, something like that. And, that will give me a total of 15% magic find when I have it fully capped out. And also, as long as I'm still killing stuff and still farming, I'm still increasing my hourly estimate of how much money I'll be making at X location. Now, I just made 2 videos earlier tonight about, one was farming in Malcor's Leap at the sparks and air elementals for the charged lodestones, and another one was farming the embers in Malcor's Leap for the molten lodestones. And pretty much a combination between all 3 of these videos with a little bit of pre-farming before each one. I've probably farmed elementals for lodestones for about an hour tonight. And I've not gotten one yet. So I might get one during this video, and I would like to put that out there so it doesn't seem like, this video is 15 minutes long and I found one in 15 minutes, so the drop rate is much better than, what it would be otherwise. I'm trying to make things as accurate as possible when it comes time to these videos. Therefore, the information I provide to you guys is the best and most accurate information you can possibly find on the internet. Now, on that similar note, I'd like to say something about that. I am a perfectionist when it comes to my job, which is writing guides for video games. I pretty much pride myself on giving you the best possible information that is free of charge. Obviously, I'm not charging you for these guides. They're absolutely free, which, turn off your ad blocker, guys. I'd really like to get paid and feed myself. Yay! But I pride myself on giving you the best possible guides, and that is how you pretty much know you're going to be getting good information and accurate information from me. Because if I do anything short of perfect, I become extremely unhappy with myself, and I typically never ever release information or like a guide or a video, anything like that, if it's anything short of amazing. Now, I'm not trying to gloat here. I'm just trying to, pretty much let you guys know I'm not going to feed you shitty information just to get paid. That's not who I am. I know a lot of people out there are cutthroat. They'll steal information from people. Like there's a few farming channels / videos and stuff like that that pretty much right after I upload a farming video of a new location or something like that, poof, it appears on their channels and they start covering it, saying, my friend told me about this farming location, blah 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 blah. And that really upsets me, because I don't steal other people's work, and I become very upset and unhappy when people go and steal my work. I worked hard to find all of these locations. I found them all, and I'd like, at least some credit if people decide to jack my shit. And sadly, in the MMO market, credit, it doesn't come very easily at, things like this. So anyway, back to these drop rates here. I did get one rare item a while ago for killing embers in Malcor's Leap. So pretty much for this hour that I've been farming all over these areas, I got one rare item, which is halfway decent. I can salvage it into globs of ectoplasm, which sadly I got extremely unlucky and did not get any globs of ectoplasm, which, as aforementioned, it isn't that big of a deal. You win some, you lose some. I'm not really upset about it. The only thing that I am upset about is, people thinking, because I've been getting unlucky in these videos, that, the drop rates are like that. They're crappy, blah, 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 blah. But I have really one thing that I'd like to, actually 2 things I'd like to say about this before the video ends and I move on to the next location and life goes on. First thing is, anybody who, it typically happens a lot where people say, they over-exaggerate when it comes to farming here and drop rates. And this is pretty much true for all walks of life. These types of people. Somebody that'll, like a friend, family member, or something like that, that'll be like, oh man, I've been stuck in traffic for 45 minutes. And he's actually only been stuck in traffic for like 10 minutes, but he's just completely blowing it out of proportion. It works the same way for, farming locations. They might say, oh, I've been farming here for 4 hours and I've gotten nothing. They probably only farmed here for like an hour or something like that, if an hour. I love farming more than anything else in any video game ever. Farming is like my favorite thing in the world to do, and even I have a hard time sitting in the same spot farming for 4 hours straight. And If I can't do it, I really doubt many other people out there are doing it. Anybody who says they've been farming a location more than like 2.5 to 3 hours, and haven't found a single thing good, I really start to doubt any information that comes out of their mouth after that. And I find it's good to typically check the other comments that they've had on YouTube to see, you know, how credible they may or may not be. And you can kind of gauge, you know, their previous responses to their current one to, you know, decide whether or not you'd like to extrapolate that information from them and use it. So the next thing I'd like to say is when using these videos of mine, it's very important you remember, like I said before, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to making these videos and putting out guides like this. And I'm always going to show you the real amount of farming and the real inside scoop of farming these locations. I'm not going to cheat or deceive you in any way whatsoever. I'm not one of those people that will go to a farming location and just, you know, farm there for 4 or 5 hours nonstop and find like the best 10 minutes that I had while farming there, where I get like 3 lodestones and like 2 rares in those 10 minutes, and then I'll use that as my video. No, I'm not that type of person. I'm going to give you the accurate information that you'll receive from farming at these locations. And I'm going to show you a video of the average farming here. I've deleted videos where I've gotten too much before in a short period of time, because I don't want to cheat and deceive people and, you know, have them see me get like 3 lodestones in an hour and think that they're going to get 3 lodestones in an hour, because you're not. You're not going to get 3 lodestones in an hour, and you're going to be gravely disappointed and angered at me if I went to a location and I said, hey guys, look what I got. Boom, and I show like this insanely awesome amount of stuff. And like I said, it doesn't always happen that way. And that's what I'm trying to show in these videos. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. And in these videos here, I haven't gotten anything in the usual like 15 minutes that I've been farming. I'm pretty much almost done here when it comes time to making this video. And I like to review a few of the items before I cut out here. Like I've gotten, I don't think I got sapphire crystals from farming here, did I? No. I think I got opal crystals from farming here, which I can sell for 1 silver, 10 copper on the auction house. That's a decent amount, or not to a vendor, not on the auction house, rather. And you know, that starts to add up as vendor trash. And then you got some blues and greens that I can also vendor. And I've also got these heavy moldy bags, which I can open. Vial of potent blood. I got some gossamer scraps, intricate potent venom, vicious claw. So out of all of those moldy sacks that I opened, which granted I've been finding a lot of them from farming here, I probably got like, what would you call it? Maybe 10, 15, 25 silver from farming at this location, just from the moldy sacks in, you know, that short period of time. So, even if you don't get lucky enough to find a lodestone, which you're not always going to win, and you're not always going to get lucky and make a lot of money. That's just life. But it's not always bad farming at a certain location, you know, the lows, essentially. Sometimes the lows aren't always that bad. And typically from these farming locations, you're going to be getting about 50 to 75 silver an hour. And that's without finding anything good at all. That's like counting vendor trash, you know, crappy gatherables in the area, and, you know, just junk, white junk that you'll be salvaging and vendoring to the auction house or to a vendor, or, you know, anything like that. But that's pretty much all of the information I can provide to you with this video. And I do hope you guys learned something, and you can help, we can work together to understand and figure out how drop rates work in this video game. That way, you know, nobody's peddling inaccurate information. Everybody understands, you know, random number generation. Sometimes you're going to win, sometimes you're going to lose. So aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video again. And if you guys did, like, comment, and subscribe to me for future Guild Wars 2 and gaming videos. Also, feel free to check out my channel for future 4 Guild Wars 2 / gaming videos that have already been created. As always, guys, see you guys around. Good luck and happy hunting.